Have you ever surfed or sat on the beach and watched the surfers? They sometimes sit on the board and wave after wave will go by. Then they pick one, catch it, and ride it back to shore. Sometimes it's a perfect wave and they ride it almost to the sand. Sometimes it fades away so fast that they turn around and paddle back out for the next one. Either way, they will paddle back out to where the waves form again and again and look to catch and ride that perfect wave. In our own everyday life, what if, instead of viewing failure as suffering, anxiety, and stress, we tried something different? What if we viewed failure like it was a wave, simply going to the shore that ends too soon? What if we realized that we could simply turn around, swim back out, and catch a new wave? Maybe even the perfect wave. What if we swam back out into the ocean of opportunity that lays all around us, and we tried to catch that perfect wave, a wave that would bring into reality our own dreams of what life can be? Some dreams would come true fast and easy, like that perfect wave. Other dreams might need a few more tries. The lesson here, as we travel in our journey of bringing those dreams into reality, is that we don't need to create additional stress, anxiety, or suffering in our lives to do so. Many years ago, on a beach in Long Beach, California, my mom was once floating on an air mattress in the ocean. She worked nights as a bartender, so you can imagine how, with working full-time and raising 5 little girls, she was pretty much exhausted all the time. So as she was floating along, she started to relax. And it wasn't long before, listening to the sounds of the surf hitting the shoreline and hearing the seagulls calling out to each other overhead, that in her relaxation, she drifted off to sleep. Then all of a sudden, she heard a boat horn blasting her awake. Startled, she floundered to stay on the float. Then she heard a voice over a bullhorn commanding her to return to the shore. As she quickly looked around in her panic, she discovered that she was literally floating out to sea. The Coast Guard officer had to point out which way for her to begin paddling her way back to the beach, as she couldn't even see the shoreline any longer. By the time she reached the shore, she was exhausted. She had gotten so far from the shore because she wasn't paying attention to what direction the current was taking her. She was literally almost lost at sea. Have you ever been so far down the rabbit hole that you lost sight of yourself? Have you ever become so overwhelmed that you couldn't even figure out which way to go, which way was back to the shore? It's in that moment of hearing that loud horn blaring you to wake up. It's in that moment of realizing that you can't see the shore any longer. It's in that moment of pure panic as you struggle to stay afloat that fear seizes your heart and squeezes it. It's in that moment that we begin to understand what really is important in our life. So, how do you recover when you've been lost at sea? How do you find yourself or your shoreline again? How do you catch that perfect wave? We start by uncovering all of our inconvenient truths. We begin with an honest examination of where we are. It doesn't matter where we've been. It doesn't matter what failures litter our past. It doesn't even matter why we are wherever here is. What matters is, in this moment, our next choice. To make the best choice, we have to examine our personal thorns of truth. So, as you do this examination, something to consider: what do you spend the hours of your life on? Do those hours move you closer to your current dreams and goals, to catching that perfect wave? Are we really advancing in the direction of our dreams? Or are they so far off in the distance we can't even see them? What is it that we are really busy about? Read on below to learn how to catch the next wave without struggling back to shore, to learn how to catch that perfect wave.